Welcome to everybody online. We're just going to start in just a couple minutes.
Hello there.
If you want people parking, I'm going to start. Hi, I'm Chris Ross, still I'm the director of the University School Board. I want to say welcome to all our family, friends, really appreciate you coming out and coming to this community forum. There was a lot of kind of angst with everything that was discussed today by press release. I want you to know that we can address any of those questions because we have a copy of the work. The other thing is we're going to kind of change the way we run this forum to the duration of the work. And I want to hear from the students first, followed by parents and sheet. And then I'll cover several questions that were asked via email. And then if you have time to get on questions for the last one. Don't be shy, kids. You're fine. So I just want to let you know that we're here to listen to your questions, your concerns about and we present those in respectful manner. I also expect from our community members that this will not be a derogatory event or anyone person. Whether it's in the community or whether it's
I should go in front of the speaker rather than behind.
I really am putting myself out there to moderate this because I trust the community. I've seen what each one of you have been like in the community. So please help me in keeping this forum respectful, especially in front of our children and our students. All right. Any questions? Okay. Do I have any students who are interested in speaking? Don't be shy, come on in. I'm 15 minutes late. I just have to do it every day. Anyone? All right. So, I'm going to ask you to come up here and give a so then we'll start.
And please state your name so that people on Zoom can hear.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Bankhead. I'm a mother of 3 students who are in 4th.
Does it click off?
are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 so that they are safe and able to reliably provide in-person instructions. Although COVID-19 is a recent challenge, vaccinations are a familiar and long practice health tool. The fact is that nearly every Oregon educator is already vaccinated against diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, which is known as whooping cough, polio, varicella, which is known as chickenpox, measles, mumps, rubella, and hepatitis A and B. COVID-19 is a disease like all the others. So why now? School is about to start across the state and we must take action now. And the Delta variant spreads quickly and effectively, often causing significant harm to unvaccinated individuals. Our hospitals are overcrowded due to COVID-19 cases, almost exclusively unvaccinated individuals. We are sending people out of state for care. Our ambulances need to know they can take injured and severely ill to a hospital for care. I know this news will impact educators differently, but I hope all Oregonians know we're taking the step to protect health and safety and keep kids in school. This rule of mandatory vaccinations will apply to all teachers, educators, support staff, volunteers in K through 12 schools, public and private. As with the state and employees and healthcare workers, religious and medical disability related exceptions will apply. That was announced today at 11 a.m. Yes. Yes, there is religious exemptions. Ginger, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a state mandate that we have religious exceptions, right? Yeah, state mandated that we have that available. Anybody else? Mm-hmm. So just for people online, I wanted to repeat that statement that this is only for vaccines per community member and that it doesn't apply to masking. I do not know either way, so I'll have Ginger add that to her list to double check. Anyone else?
With the face mask last year, what for a facial and he was told he could not wear that. Will there be an exception made to that?
I will have Ginger follow up on that. So if nobody else wants to speak, slowly looking across the crowd. Anna? So let me make sure that I have the question for people online. You're asking that will asthma prevent children from having to wear a mask if they already have respiratory issues? With my parent hat on, I can tell you that what I've read, and I'm not sure if it's documented or not. So Ginger, will you double check on that? But one thing is any mask exceptions, and I can double check the ODE website, would be if you have to go to a medical physician to have a sign off. So if you are concerned about your child with the way medical care appointments are, I would highly suggest that you make one of those sooner rather than later, with school being 2 weeks away. Anybody else? Yeah. Come on up.
It is a myth that masks prevent virus from spreading. The overall evidence is clear. Standard cloth and surgical masks offer next to no protection against virus-sized particles or small aerosols. The size of a virus particle is much too small to be stopped by a surgical mask, cloth, or bandana. A single virion of the SARS-CoV-2 is about 60 to 140 nanometers or 0.1 microns. The pore size of a surgical mask is 200 to 1,000 times that size. Consider the CDC website says surgical masks do not catch all harmful particles in smoke, and the size of smoke particles in a wildfire are 0.5 microns, which is 5 times the size of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Wearing a mask to prevent catching SARS-CoV-2, a similarly sized influenza, is like throwing sand at a chain link fence. It doesn't work. There has been one large randomized controlled study that specifically examined whether masks protect their wearers from coronavirus. The study found mask wearing did not reduce at conventional levels of statistical significance the incidence of SARS-CoV-2 infection, which leads me to say, why? There has to be a reason beyond wearing masks, because scientifically, nobody can prove that they help. Even in surgery, I'm a nurse, even in surgery, you have to change them, and they're more for protecting, they don't work. So it's like, why are we doing this? It's like putting up that fence to keep out mosquitoes.
Can I say thank you for being a nurse? My mom's a nurse. I really appreciate you. Okay, so since I don't see any more from the community, okay. Can I, Aubrey, right? Okay, can you come up, Aubrey? I'll let you speak as soon as Aubrey's done. Can you sign in for me, sweetie? Right. Yeah, just right here.
I don't like masks because I can't breathe in them, and it gives me anxiety. And every time I try to itch my nose or something, the teacher says put it back on, and or don't fidget around with it. You're supposed to keep it on. And I always say it's bothering me, and I always say I don't want to wear it.
Come up and sign it. Oh, okay. Can it wait till right after she goes and then you can go? Does that work? Or I might be pushing this wrong way. Okay, now I got it. Maybe. No. Sorry,
Hello, my name is Cami Hungate, and I really don't have any skin in this game because I don't have any kids or anybody coming here. But I just want you to think about how kids learn. Like they pick up on social cues, and when you have your face covered, they can't pick up on that. So it's really important that they are able to do that so that they can, learn what this whole life is all about. So that's all I have to say.
I'm just just checking the time to make sure I have enough time to read these two. Do you want to come up?
Sí. Yo nomás tengo la pregunta, como en mi grupo de familia ya todos somos vacunados, pero yo estaba preguntando para mis hijos, que son los que realmente me importan, y tengo un hijo asmático que también tiene el mismo problema de si usa la mascarilla, pero yo veo como en las tiendas la mayoría ya no trae mascarillas y luego otra vez usamos la mascarilla y ahorita en la escuela realmente no sé qué va a pasar o qué está pasando. Sí.
So everybody pretty much in my family has been vaccinated. And so my question is when they come to school, like the kids, are they going to have to wear masks even though they've been vaccinated? I see when I go to the stores, a lot of times people aren't wearing masks. And then again, now they're supposed to wear masks. And I have a son who has asthma. And so I'm wondering if he would have to wear a mask.
So I'm just gonna restate that. The new mask mandate from the governor says all people must wear a mask indoors except, and then there's a couple exceptions.
When you're outside for recess, while you're eating, while you're drinking, while you're in PE, and when you're taking mass breaks outside. So it's only when you're in an enclosed space with a group of students. If you have a student that has asthma, you have a child that has asthma, you can go to the doctor and get a note saying that masks are a problem. And then the doctor will tell us what kind of accommodation we can make. So you can take breaks.
Es un niño que no puede agarrar la vacuna porque es menor de la edad. ¿Y cómo se va a manejar aquí en la escuela?
Then if he becomes uncomfortable, he can ask to go to the nurses. Then be in a place where he can do that. Take off his mask and not go to quitar la máscara y nos preocupamos. We work with children, trabajamos con los niños para que estén en la escuela.
Gracias.
Okay, thank you.
I'm always whisking this around like I'm on a stage or something. Okay, Anna will have you go and then Kim will have you go. Mhm.
There's no scientific proof that we're. And not.
Well,
As a community, why not let us pick what's best for us? And take responsibility for our health. Should that be up to us versus somebody else? To be down and to be scared of being talked to. Because this is something that why not let us?
and Anna, I would like to thank you for your statement, and I hear what you're saying. And I can tell you that as a board, we have the August 23rd meeting set up for those kinds of discussions amongst the board members. But I really can't comment beyond that. Well, I would encourage you to reach out and write letters to the ODE and the governor regarding your requests. As a school board, again, we have to meet and have discussions on, we are actually one decision-making board, so I can't speak for the board. But I would, as a parent, encourage you, like I have, to email the governor, email Pat Allen, email OHA, email ODE, and really voice your concerns. Those are all avenues that as a parent you have access to at all times. Yeah, I've posted them on the parent page, but I'll send them to you. Kim? Do you want to come up here and sign? It's just so the online people can hear. I know. Just so it, because it's a school-related question. Okay, so yes, so my question was about the mask breaks. Well, that I have 4 kids that attend North Marion. This fall, my kids will be 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and a sophomore. My little ones were really disappointed about having to wear masks, and two of my boys were concerned about being in class for longer than the 2.5 hours they were before, and concerned about not being able to breathe or getting in trouble. They don't want to be yelled at, but we're trying to decide on whether we keep our 4 kids in, and we don't have very much time to decide on keeping them here or pulling them out. And so what are the mask breaks? Will those be separate from like the recesses for the little kids, or what does that look like? And my kids like to follow the rules and they will do their part, but my concern is
if they have to be removed from the classroom because they're not following the rules, or they can go take a break at the nurse's station because the mask is bothering them, I'm concerned about their education portion too. So they're going to be missing out, but is it fair? I mean, I don't know. So what do we know yet what those mask breaks look like? Because you said mask breaks. So could you elaborate on that, please? Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
Okay, so I'm hearing you ask about the mask breaks, but what you really want to know is how are we going to do things in a way that keeps kids engaged and at the same time doesn't risk their exposure so that we have to shut down and quarantine classrooms by having them randomly take breaks. So is it structured? Is it safe? But at the same time, will the children be comfortable? And that's a challenge that every teacher faces every year since COVID started. How do we do it just right? And every child's a little bit different. So that's what the teachers do. That is their skill, is to figure out how to structure that time and that opportunity. One, to make sure it's safe, and two, to make sure that it meets the needs of the kids. And it looks different in every grade, and it looks different in every classroom, but it's the standard practice for them now so that kids remain comfortable. The second part about that is really focusing on what can we possibly do to make sure that there is minimal chance that we'll have to disrupt the education that kids desperately need, not only for their academics, but for the care and compassion and connection and their friends and their growth as a person. That usually happens in school. They do that at home too, but there's some part really special that occurs at home and at school that we're denying them right now. So what is the best way for that to happen? It's what is being described for us right now. School districts don't have the authority to make a decision. School boards don't have the authority to make the decision. Once someone gives us a rule and says, this rule has the force of law, we have to follow it. I can write letters till I'm blue in the face, and I do, but I know that it's not going to change the rule right now. But when the time comes, when they can change the rule, then they'll have some information about what we need as a community so that we can move forward.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know you guys can't answer anything that was stated at the press release today, but this is for future. So when you do have the answer, it was mentioned about staff, volunteers, anyone that is in the building. So I was a substitute teacher for North Marion. And where was my train of thought going? Oh, as soon as you guys, how soon will you have more information, do you think? Like, how soon will you get the specifics from the governor to help guide you on exactly, are we gonna have no parent volunteers? I mean, I know that we will, but for those of us that are gonna choose not to get the vaccine, you know, how many are we gonna lose? And I mean, I don't know. So how soon do you think you would know or have that information?
So I'll let Ginger speak to it, but as a board, we usually receive our OD updates like 72 hours to a week after the press release. And it can be, unfortunately, a little bit longer depending on what kind of documentation is in there. Sometimes they send it out to the superintendents a day before us, but usually when we have access to the information as board members, and that's through ODE and the OSBA, it's not like, as all of us expect, if you have a press release, you've already released your document. So I just want to give you the truth in that, but I'll let Ginger speak to that.
Chris, that's really right on target. The governor directed the Oregon Health Authority to write the rules about this give them to the Oregon Department of Education to put into their framework and then give it to us. So it's going to take a couple days.
Okay, any last minute question? Because I really want to be able to read off the parent comments that were submitted via email. Oh, Jen?
Yes, so here has, I feel like what will mass rates? And I didn't really hear like some answer on that.
Well, what I can say is, as a board member, I expect that in the future, when the classrooms are more organized, that I will believe that there will be a report out from the building. So as the teachers come back and get standardized, we get all the rules for the indoor stuff, we get all the rules for all the other stuff, then they'll have a firmer place, probably. And Ginger, let me know if I'm being too hopeful in this, but I foresee that each building, it'll look different, and those buildings will be able to communicate that to parents before the first day of school. I mean, as a parent, I expect there will be a conversation that takes place before the first day of school. So your children will be well prepared to attend. There'll be no surprises. Ryan, come on up.
You keep telling us what the governor says we should do. We're good with what we want to do, and you're not listening. You are not listening.
Hey,
I don't care what Governor Brown
hey, Ryan.
says.
Hey,
You
Ryan.
don't listen. You don't listen to this big facts.
No,
This big facts backs up. You do not trust the government. You do not trust
Ryan,
the government.
tonight,
There's a lot of things. I know.
Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan.
I know this is a situation where we can come in, anything related to us, but nothing really gets done.
Ryan.
Nothing really gets solved. I see you sitting there. I see
Ryan.
you have a bunch of questions. And this is what we do. You let us talk, you let us vent. We feel that go home. And nothing gets solved. I'm just saying that. God. I'm done. Hey. Pull them out. You want to put your kids out, pull them out. That's the only way it's supposed to. They got a bigger problem than that.
All right, so I'm going to read off these questions.
It does not prevent the disease. It will not protect you. Right, I'm sorry, man. The BS is so thick and you keep laying it
Ryan?
on.
Ryan,
No.
I still love you.
And I love these kids.
I know, I do too, Ryan. Still love you. All right, I'm going to go to the questions submitted via email. And then we'll be about 3 minutes from time, and I'll try to get through a couple of questions from the last one. So our North Marion School District School is still going to be able to open with full time 5 days a week and full length days starting Wednesday, September 8th. Yes. After hearing about the Portland Public Schools requiring all staff to be vaccinated by the end of August, will the North Marion School District be following this step as well? Unknown, we have no direction currently. And if you can't guarantee all staff members to be vaccinated, can you guarantee that my child and her immunocompromised peers would only be dealing with staff that is vaccinated? Currently unknown still, because please contact Ginger directly. And also we cannot comment on the press release today. This parent signed, it was Andrea Brundridge. Sorry if I butchered that. My last name is Rostisil, so it happens. So this is her statement. I want to thank you for giving parents who cannot attend in person this evening a chance to be heard. Unfortunately, the topic of masking is becoming a very hot topic, one in which there are many opinions about. I'm going to skip over the political pieces. The facts are, we all have a responsibility as members of the community to do our part. Let me continue to the second page. While I hear these people and their opinions, I cannot help but notice a huge lack of disregard for others. She speaks of ample amounts of data and evidence. And Andrea, I apologize. I'm just holding you accountable like everybody else. So here it says, finally, right now is the time for this to be about our children and our community as a whole. We need to set aside the I, me, my, and think about our community, neighbors, and our children. And okay, we have about 5 minutes. So I'm going to try to bust through some of these conversations really quick here from the open forum. Will rules be different for kids who are too young for vaccines? I think we've already touched on this, but there is an allowance for children under the age of 5 in preschool classrooms. They are not required to wear masks in school. However, they do need to wear masks on the bus, and that is a federal mandate with the transportation. What if students test positive? If a student tests positive after symptoms appear and was wearing a mask around others who were also wearing masks, there is no need for other students to quarantine as long as the other students do not show symptoms. I believe that might have changed. I believe that might have changed just since she answered this. I saw a new healthcare thing come out today. So stay tuned for updates on that. How will rooms be kept clean for students, surfaces, air ventilation? We will use the protocols we have practiced all year to ensure classrooms are ready and refreshed for students and staff. Masks and vaccines are the top protocol per the governor. We are encouraging to keep others safe in group settings. Hand washing, room cleaning, and proper ventilation also provide additional layers of protection. Is there an online tutoring for students who are enrolled in online programs? If you need more assistance, please reach out to your child's teacher and principal so they can assist you. Will athletics be free? No. Child that participates in our activities will be, no child, pardon me, I read a comma there. Delay, sorry. No child that participates in our activities will be denied financial support if needed. Reach out to the building principal or athletic director for assistance. Bus riders, do they have to wear a mask? Yes, this is a new federal transportation rule. Masks and 3 feet away, what will that look like? Classrooms and shared space will be set up to help students maintain the 3 feet whenever possible guidance. Students will have mask breaks outside and during the day, and masks will not be worn while eating, drinking, or at recess or PE. Is there a hybrid option? There is no hybrid at this time, as all staff are needed to teach all in-person students full-time. However, we are still determining needs. Please fill out the survey. Is there an online option? We will continue with the Pearson programs we used last year for full-time online students. More information about this option will be coming soon. I'm going to try to crank out a couple more of these. Will we provide masks? We will provide masks for students and staff. Sports and masks, what is required? I'm glancing over this and it's not up to date with what the OSAA just released. So go to the OSAA website. What about school board meetings? The same rules apply to school board meetings as they're held indoors. What about face shields, medical accommodations for students? Some students have medical exemptions and can wear face shields. Adults can wear them along with masks. Adults can also use masks with clear plastic around their mouth area so students can see their smile and see visual clues when needed. We will work to support students and provide medical required accommodations. Let me just super quick glance through this, see if there's anything else that jumps out. How to help kids catch up academically. We are currently developing programs to help all students accelerate their learning so they can catch up and to earn missing credits at high school so they can graduate on time. Social emotional learning supports. Yes, every staff and student member are receiving social emotional learning, and it is part of our education program. Counselors are also available. I would also like to speak to this, that the extent of support that the Rosticil family received was above and beyond, and you can be assured that they're there to support not only the children, but the family. Locker use at high school. We are looking into that right now. Stand by for an update. And again, when it says something that impacts the students, it's my understanding as a school board member that these questions will be answered before the first day of school so that your students can be prepared. Will there be extracurricular in-person activities on-site supervised by staff? Yes, as long as the staff are willing to run these activities, they will be available. Chromebooks and hotspots provided for online. Yes, technology will be available. How will info be shared with the community? Emails, websites, social media, and robocalls. And I would like to say our new communications person, Jillian, has been fantastic. And I love the new website and it will be up to date. Lunch times, what will that look like? It's going to be a building to building decision again, kind of like the masks. We've got to give them time to work through those. If children come to school sick, will you not allow them in the building? Parents are required to screen their children before sending them to school. Students with symptoms of illness of any kind like fever should not be sent to school. Students that will be sick will be in a nurse room until they can be returned home, parent pickup. Can athletes compete in other communities? At this time, yes. Will schools start on time? Yes. How do children access vaccines? Please contact your healthcare provider. Can we separate kids by masked and unmasked? No. I think we've covered most everything else. Okay, so we are just a few minutes over. So again, I would like to thank, last minute comment? Yes, and we'll be following the rules of OHA, right? Yes. Okay. Right. Hold on.
Currently, the shield alone doesn't meet the requirements. However, you can do a mask and a shield. And there are now masks that I have my teacher friends use that are clear. And then cloth here and above the nose, but everything down here is open so you can see the smile, you can see the lips move. It's a much, I'm looking at buying a lot of those for the staff to use this year.
And just so you know, it's like a piece of plastic. It's not like open. Okay. Any last going once, going twice? Thank you for coming, community. I know that it's really hard when I can't give you what you want to know and what you desire. I, again, encourage you to be an advocate for your children always. Advocate ODE, advocate OHA, advocate with the governor of the things that you would like the school districts to be able to do. I just really thank you again for coming and sharing all the information and statements that you did. And I really appreciate you. And I can't wait to see the children in school. Have a great evening.